Welcome back. In this episode, we'll be exploring the final reason that you might be self-silencing, which is that you feel you don't have the right or you're simply not good enough to share your thoughts, opinions, or ideas. This feeling of inadequacy or the nagging thought that we are somehow not qualified enough or we aren't worthy of sharing our thoughts or opinions is much more personal to reason 3, feeling our ideas are insignificant. That's because it's more about self-worth and identity rather than the external reception of our ideas. It's where you might have valuable insights or unique experiences to share, but a voice inside your head is whispering doubts like, who am I to say this? Or they've been doing it for much longer than me, so what right do I have to talk about it? These doubts are more than just concerns about the relevance of our ideas. They are reflections of how we perceive ourselves in relation to others, especially in terms of experience, expertise, and worthiness. This feeling isn't just about a lack of confidence, it's deeper than that. It's about questioning our very right to speak up and be heard. It's as if there's an unspoken rule or a standard that we believe we haven't met, and therefore we sideline ourselves in conversations and discussions. The roots of this feeling can be traced to what is called the fairness fallacy, the belief that only the best and most qualified have the right to speak or be heard. This fallacy leads us to constantly compare ourselves to others, typically finding ourselves lacking in some way. It's a negative mindset that ignores the reality that everyone, regardless of their status or qualifications, has unique insights and perspectives. Social conditioning also influences this. We're often conditioned to believe that only certain people, those who have the qualifications, the titles, a certain level of professional or life experience, are entitled to express their opinions on particular topics. Breaking away from this belief can be really challenging, especially if it has been a part of your thinking since a young age. I also have to mention imposter syndrome here, as this also feeds into this feeling of inadequacy. Imposter syndrome is the internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. This often leads to feeling that you're a fraud and that someday someone's going to discover the truth and call you out on it. And this also ties into the realization that you have a gap in your knowledge or skills. It's when you become aware of it, which I'll explain more shortly. Like with many of the other reasons we've covered in this mini-series, this feeling can also be influenced by past experiences where our ideas were dismissed or overlooked, or where we faced criticism or rejection. And these situations can leave a lasting impact, making us doubt our worth and contributions. Overcoming this reason, this feeling, starts with challenging that fairness fallacy. It's about recognizing that everyone, including you, has the right to share their thoughts and experiences. Your perspectives are valid, not because of some external validation, but because they are uniquely yours. Practicing self-affirmation can be really powerful here, reminding yourself regularly that your thoughts and opinions matter. Affirmations like, your voice is valuable, your experiences are worth sharing. These can help you to rewire the negative thought patterns that you have that are holding you back. To further understand and overcome this feeling, I want to share with you something that really made a big impact on me and my journey. And this is going back to what I mentioned earlier, this gap in knowledge and skills. It's called the 4 stages of conscious competence. And this model helps you realize that gaining confidence and competence is a journey. I want you to imagine a staircase. The bottom step starts with unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. You might be unaware of your potential or the value of your insights. And maybe this is when you've just started out in business. You're excited. You're just getting out there and doing new things, and all of the excitement is keeping you going. The next step is conscious incompetence. This is when you become aware of what you don't know and can't do yet. The skills and the knowledge that you are lacking, which is often when these feelings, this feeling of not being the right person or not being enough, can first arise. You start to feel inadequate, incompetent compared to others who are or may have been on a similar journey. And then the next step, you move up to conscious competence. And this is through learning and practice. You gain those skills and the knowledge and the experience that you need. And it requires effort, but you start to see growth. And on the final step at the very top is unconscious competence. And this is when what you've learned becomes second nature and you have the skill and the knowledge. You're able to do it or talk about it confidently and do it all with ease as well. Understanding these stages, these steps, should help you to realize that growing in confidence and skill is a process that everyone goes through. It's about embracing each stage, and this is when you can be open about what you're learning and be willing to share your journey with others. As you learn and upskill, you can document it and share what you've discovered along the way. This is something that I enjoy doing. As I'm learning something new or as I approach a new challenge, I will share this with those that are close to me initially, and then maybe I'll start making content out of it. So think about this model, and you can Google it and find the image, the 4 stages of conscious competence. But just think of this as a journey and see yourself going on this journey. And if you are in that space of conscious incompetence, all you have to do is begin your journey towards competence. So to wrap this up, I want to remind you that it is important to embrace the journey and also embrace the idea that you don't need to know everything, that you will learn these things over time, and that is normal and acceptable. And it's okay to share your opinion and allow it to evolve as you gain more information and perspectives. So thank you again for tuning in. In the next episode, we will be looking at how to start moving past self-silencing. And remember, you can check out my book, Stop Self-Silencing, for more insights. If you found value in this episode and are seeking more personalized support on your journey to visibility, I'd like to extend a special invitation to you. Join me in the Visibility Lab. This unique space is designed for individuals like you who are ready to amplify their voice, embrace their authentic selves, and make a genuine impact. You'll find an empowering community of like-minded individuals, all working towards greater visibility. So if you're ready to step out of the shadows and into your light, to stop self-silencing and make the impact that you've always dreamed of, then join us in the Visibility Lab. Visit fifemason.com/TVL to find out more.